Hi, it's Beata from BA English Coaching and welcome to our next lesson. Today's lesson is about the past tense again. This time it's past tense number 2, past continuous or past progressive as it is sometimes called. As you know from my previous lesson, there are 6 past tenses in English. I hope you've had a chance to watch my lesson on past simple. If you haven't watched it yet and you don't feel confident with past simple, can you please watch it, learn it, revise it first before you move on to past continuous? Why? I believe that English tenses are logical. At least I can see the logic there. And that's how I am approaching and planning and teaching these lessons. And I want you to build on the knowledge you have. And when we learn something new, then it all makes sense. So please consolidate past simple first, and then you can move on to past simple first, and then you can move on to past continuous. So we will look at past continuous today. We will look at the meaning, form and spelling of the ending ing. If you were at school and you were not paying attention, you were not listening when the teacher was explaining this tense, you were daydreaming, or you were texting, or you were doing whatever, and now you feel you want to understand this tense, you want to talk about the past correctly and fluently and confidently, I hope this lesson will help you. As usual, all my lessons are interactive, as you learn by doing, and that's 100%. So you will be asked to pause the video, complete the tasks, and answer my questions. Oh, and one more thing. Why do I always start with a joke or a story? I hear you ask. Well, from my 15 plus years of teaching experience, I know that you students often understand language or grammar way above your linguistic level when it is in a context of a story. You may not understand everything I'm saying, but the language or the grammar from the story, from the context, will get here and then here. So yes, of course, I try to create engaging content, but please let me know what you think. Do you agree, or do I need to change anything? So let's start and see what story I've got for you this time. Do you think that in the world there are people who look exactly like you? Or just someone who is your double? My daughter will read this story to you, and then I want you to pause the video and think about the uses of the past continuous tense.
I was walking along the street one day when I saw something very strange. I noticed a girl around my age, same height as me, who had the same wavy brown hair, like mine. She was wearing a white t-shirt and a pair of jeans, and she was carrying a bag with some books in it. She was listening to music. She crossed the road ahead of me. As she was crossing the road, I followed her. I was wondering whether or not to stop her, but I was a bit scared. I was still thinking about it when she suddenly turned around and we looked at each other. We both looked amazed. "It's unbelievable, isn't it?" I said as I was staring at her face. "You are my double. I can't believe it. You look exactly the same as me."
Let's find out when we use past continuous in English. When you want to talk about something that was happening or was in progress around a definite or particular time in the past. For example, at 6 p.m. yesterday, I was having lunch. What were you doing at 9 a.m. last Sunday? You've got a timeline to help you understand this use. We use past continuous when you want to say that you were in the middle of an action at a time in the past. For example, the plane was flying very low. I was walking across the field. So I was in the field. Notice here that if I say a sentence, I walked across the field, so when you use past simple, you are saying that you crossed the field completely. So notice the difference between past simple and past continuous. Past continuous tells us that you were in the middle of an action. Past simple, you are talking about a finished action. That's why I told you to consolidate past simple first. You use past continuous when you want to describe the background in a story. So when you want to paint a picture of a longer background action, when you want to give us details, not the main news of the story. For example, she was wearing a white t-shirt. She was carrying a bag. The sun was shining. And the last one, we use both past simple and past continuous when a shorter action interrupted a longer action. For example, I was still thinking about it when she suddenly turned around. So the action that interrupted it is in the past simple. We were sitting in the garden when it started to rain. You have a timeline again to help you with understanding of this use. Please note that with both past simple and past continuous, there is no connection with now. Both tenses express actions that are finished. They happened in the past. I want you to pause now to take a moment and think about this. You need to be 100% sure you understand the use of past continuous. Let's have a look at the forms now. How do we form positive sentences, questions, and negative sentences in the past continuous tense? The past continuous is the past tense of the verb to be plus an ing form. I, he, she, it was playing. You, we, they were playing. More examples. I was walking along the street. She was wearing a white t-shirt. They were having lunch at 2 p.m. Negative sentences. I, he, she, it plus was plus not and verb plus ing. I wasn't playing. You, we, they weren't playing. More examples. I wasn't watching TV yesterday. She wasn't dreaming. I hope you weren't doing it outside. And questions. Was I, he, she, it playing? Were you or we or they playing? More examples. What were you thinking of? Was Peter already waiting for you when you got there? Why were you wearing your new jeans to repair a car? And let's have a look at short answers. Yes, I was, or he, she, it was. No, I wasn't. And the same for he, she, it. And with the subpronouns we, you, they, we use were. Yes, you were. No, you weren't. We will have a look at the spelling now. What happens when we add ing to infinitive? There are 4 groups. Can you think of some rules? Have a look at the texts and all the verbs. What can you notice? What happens when we add ing? Pause the video and try to come up with some ideas. Let's see what I've got here. We double the following letters: B, D, G, L, M, N, P, R, and T. So for example, get then becomes getting, so you will have 2 T. The same with winning, stopping, traveling, and swimming. Another change happens when we have to change IE to Y with verbs like die and lie. Final E is dropped. So for example, with verbs hope, make, and have. So you can see what happens. The spelling changes. But E is not dropped from words ending in double E, OE, or YE. So for example, with C, you only add ing, and the same with agree. Can you please notice this and try to remember the rules, so then you are confident when you need to write verbs with ing. How much have you learned today? Let's do a quick exercise at the end to check. Complete the conversation. Put in the correct forms of the verbs. Pause the video now. Let's check the answers together.
I'm afraid I've broken this cup, Mum.
Oh no, what were you doing?
I was taking it into the kitchen. I bumped into Ella. She was coming out just as I was going in.
It was your fault. You were dreaming. You weren't looking where you were going.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't dreaming.
Did you answer all the questions correctly? If not, have a look at it again and try to understand why you made the mistakes and learn from them. Imagine you are in a similar situation. Would you be able to use past continuous confidently? Homework time. I'll give you some ideas for further practice. English grammar in use, perfect grammar book, and study units on past continuous tense. Get creative and write a short story using both past simple and past continuous. And if you feel courageous, you can share it with us on my Facebook page. Expose yourself to English every day, 10-15 minutes, and focus on past continuous when you watch television or you listen to the radio or you read. Click the subscribe button so you know when the next lesson on another tense is out, and let me know in the comments below what you thought about the lesson. I hope you found it useful. I hope you were paying attention, you were listening, you were not daydreaming. And remember, don't be the same, be better every day.